Hey there, you're listening to 10 Films I Hate About You, the podcast where we systematically go through my DVD collection and decide which DVDs to keep and which DVDs should be given a second life in a DVD store, secondhand DVD store. We donate them. That's what I'm getting at.
Bin?
Bin? No, Kev. I like the idea that the DVDs that we do get rid of, the two that have disappeared now, have gone into a new home and they're being loved and cherished and cared for.
Starting to worry for you.
Oh no. Anyway, this is episode 2, and as you can hear,
You didn't even let me finish.
I'm here with my partner Kevin.
As I was saying,
Yes.
starting to worry for you.
Why?
You review movies, right?
Yes.
And then you're publicly telling people what you have in your collection.
Yeah, look.
Doesn't that, taint the taste of your...
Well, we're doing this because I have over 700 DVDs in my collection, so I assume that the people would assume that the majority of my DVDs are really, really high quality. And then there are some DVDs that I purchased long ago with feelings of nostalgia in my heart. I have hung on to them, and now we are rewatching them after many years and realizing that they are somewhat flawed. Sometimes very flawed.
Yeah, I agree.
But The Karate Kid is not one of those flawed films. I'm going to keep arguing that. We finished our argument on The Karate Kid Part 1 last episode, so if you haven't listened to that, check that out. Today is all about The Karate Kid Part 2, and I know Kevin is super pumped to watch the second installment of this film franchise.
Sure. Okay.
Yes! Alright, I'm going to read the blurb. As we established last episode, this is a really fancy steelbook collection of all 3 DVDs. So if I'm throwing out one, I have to throw out them all. It's high stakes. And the blurb actually encompasses all 3 DVDs at once. So I'm just going to read the one sentence of the blurb that is relevant to the film that we're watching today. Are you ready?
I'm waiting.
Okay. The challenge was tougher and the action more furious in The Karate Kid Part 2. The rousing sequel that took the duo far from home and into a deadly confrontation where they'll learn the price of honor. That's it. That's what we're watching today. Kev, you said that you had the most nostalgic feels about this one. It fills me with hope.
I watched better movies as a child.
But of the 3 Karate Kids, this one is
probably
the best. Well, at any rate, I believe I lost the discussion last week, or last fortnight rather, so I'm hoping to win today, because I can't lose The Karate Kid. That would be sad.
Well, why'd you put it up?
Well, I had to put up something, and this season is all about trilogies. Anyway,
that bodes well.
If you haven't seen The Karate Kid Part 2, or you haven't seen it in a really long time, go watch it right now. We are going to come back in a moment, and Kevin is going to spoil the entire thing for you, which would be very disappointing. We're not going to hold back at all.
30-year-old movie?
I know, but there are some movies from that long ago that I haven't gotten around to watching yet and really should.
Yeah, but you took your time to watch the movies that you own.
I'd still be upset if an old movie was spoiled, I think.
You wasted your time on other movies that you bought.
Yes. At any rate, go watch The Karate Kid Part 2 right now. Don't wait. It's going to be spoiled. We are back. We've just finished watching The Karate Kid Part 2. What a joyful, joyful time it was. How much we learnt from Mr. Miyagi, who is wise in the ways of everything. Shall I just hand it straight over to you, Kev? I can see you're dying to speak.
Go ahead.
No,
you recap.
What?
No, wait, no. Actually, let the movie recap. Because the best thing about this movie is that if you haven't seen the first one, just watch this one. the first 10 minutes of it is the best parts of the first one.
Yeah. Previously on The Karate Kid. They don't say that. They just start the story with The Karate Kid.
No,
They didn't tell The Karate Kid Part 1 in chronological order, though.
Don't have to. Refresh my memory. What happened at the start? Oh my god.
Oh, well, there was the recap.
Yeah.
Including the guy at the tournament who yelled, "Put him in a body bag!"
Yeah, that's the highlight of the movie.
I don't feel like it was a highlight of the first movie. But anyway, it was hilarious. It made me laugh to see that moment again, randomly in the recap. And then after the recap, you know...
Oh yeah, we jump straight to the showers.
Yeah, we do.
With a lot of naked men, while Mr. Miyagi is just standing outside waiting for Daniel to come out.
This is a PG-rated movie. There's no, you know...
The penis was implied.
There's no genitalia present.
Yeah, but there's an old man watching his student shower.
He's got his back to him. It's fine.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, like, that was maybe taken out of context.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, okay.
So the shower scene happened.
I'm not condoning teachers getting in showers with their students. I'm just going to put that out there right now. Mr. Miyagi wasn't in the shower. He was outside the shower. He had his back to Daniel. There was privacy. Yes.
Yep.
Let's not get into the ethics.
Mr. Miyagi's outside the shower.
Oh, no.
Responsibly holding Daniel's towel. They walk out of there with this trophy. This is straight after the competition. And then crazy psycho, poor man's David Hasselhoff comes out in a rage.
So this is Johnny's teacher.
Yeah, I forgot his name.
Sensei.
Chris? Is it Chris?
Oh, yeah, I think it is.
Something like that. And attacks his student, puts him in a chokehold.
Yeah, because he got second place.
Yep.
And that's not good enough.
It's just,
apparently.
Attempted murder. And, a little bit of a foreshadowing. Mr. Miyagi goes in.
Well, he also hits his other student in the face.
Yeah, put him in the body bag.
It's that kid.
Yeah.
He gets hit in the face.
Now he's in the body bag.
Oh, God.
Anyway, and this guy just casually punches windows.
No, Mr. Miyagi was using the bone drum technique to avoid the punches.
Yeah, we didn't know about the bone drum yet.
Okay, sorry.
Spoiler.
Okay. Well, Mr. Miyagi is using karate techniques.
And then Mr. Miyagi bashed him to bits.
No, Mr. Miyagi just stepped out of the way. He did it to himself.
Mentally bashed him to bits. You know, had an opportunity to kill him.
Yeah.
And Daniel's like, kill him, please. And then instead of killing him, he honks his nose.
Yeah.
The end.
Yeah.
That's it, guys. Thanks for listening.
That's not the movie.
Anyway.
He was also being racist to Mr. Miyagi, hey.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Not just Mr. Miyagi, there's a couple of black dudes.
Yeah.
He just, randomly attacked these guys.
Yeah, he did. He really did.
He could have attacked someone else.
Well, he did. He also attacked his students. And then he attacked Mr. Miyagi. He was just on a rampage. It's like...
Okay, he's got a defense mode now.
I've got to defend this hard. It's a trilogy. I lost the first one. I've got to win the second one.
Nah. Anyway, they're walking back to the thing and Mr. Miyagi's got one of his proverbs going, you don't kill someone because you feel like shit afterwards. Along those lines. Anyway.
It's like he wants the other sensei to live with his unhappiness. That's more of a punishment than killing him.
Yep. Killed him by depression.
Daniel was like, why didn't you kill him? And Mr. Miyagi's like...
It's freaking illegal, dickhead.
Yeah. I don't understand why Daniel was like, why didn't you do
They
that?
were out in a car park with at least 200 people. Alright. Okay. 6 months later, Mr. Miyagi's doing his fly catching skills with his chopsticks. Daniel drives in with his yellow car to bits.
Mr. Miyagi finally catches a fly. I thought that was very important.
Leave that silence there.
No.
You were leaving that silence there.
I thought that was
Silence is important sometimes.
I thought that was an important part of the recap. The audience needs to know because...
What?
The man who can catch a fly with chopsticks can accomplish anything. That's Mr. Miyagi now. Daniel did it in the last film, Okay. Go on.
Yeah, I lost my train of thought.
Daniel comes in his car. The car that he got for his birthday from Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
Because Mr. Miyagi
And then he just
karate.
shoehorns everything that happens in 6 months in the last 24 hours.
Yes,
Ali with an eye leaves him for a football player that goes to UCLA.
that is correct.
She
Crashed his car.
crashed his car. Mom's moving back to Fresno.
No, she's just going to work there for 2 months over the summer.
Moving back to Fresno, basically.
Oh.
So, Daniel's all pissed and, he just had his prom. He's still wearing his suit. Conveniently gets dumped. Because I wonder what's going to happen in Japan. Oh, wait, they're going to Japan!
Oh, yeah,
Spoiler.
that happens then too. A lot of things happen in this scene.
Yep. Teaching him how to inefficiently hammer a nail into a plank of wood.
So Daniel rolls in and talks about what all the characters, or what all the actors who haven't been employed again are doing and why they haven't come back. And then Mr. Miyagi teaches him how to hammer things. And then the mailman comes.
Oh, the racist mailman.
The racist mailman. Oh my god.
Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah, but that's not the most racist part, I feel.
Yeah, go on.
Okay.
Now say it.
I'm not arguing to throw out the DVD, but I am arguing to throw out this mailman. Because he is just... Oh, God. So...
Not racism. You're not throwing out racism. Just the mailman.
I'll throw out racism as well, obviously.
So you have to throw out this movie.
Oh, God. Okay, so the mailman comes. He mispronounces Mr. Miyagi's name. Daniel corrects him. He's like, oh, sorry, blah, blah, blah. Here is your letter from Okinawa. And then he's like, wow, what a great place you've got here. Look at your garden. Delightful. You should charge admission. I might bring my wife round to look at this. And then Mr. Miyagi doesn't respond because he's just gotten his first letter from Okinawa in like 40 years. And then the man's like, not today, I guess. And off he goes. He just decides to invite him and his wife over into someone else's backyard because it looks nice. And it's different to what he's experienced before. It is terrible. It is a terrible moment. Why?
Now we know how she really feels about the movie.
No.
Reverse psychology.
No, but who does that?
Win.
Who does that? This mailman does.
Yeah, apparently. Anywho, he gets a letter.
Man, our mailman just pulls up the van and goes, mail! And then throws the mail.
Yeah, it's called COVID.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Okay.
What? You want the mailman to come in and it's like, ooh, your DVDs! There's a lot here. Should you throw some out?
And no, and I also don't want the mailman to bring his wife around to look at my DVDs. That would be weird, wouldn't it?
Yeah, because they were like, oh, these shit movies.
Oh God, this is taking a turn.
This is the whole premise of the podcast.
All right,
He gets a letter
yeah,
from, I forgot her name already.
Yukie,
His,
former flame.
his ex-girlfriend,
Okay.
saying that Mr. Miyagi's dad is dying. Sad. Very sad. And then Daniel just barges in going, you still have a dad?
Oh yeah, he does.
Oh, I'm so surprised because he's so old.
Yeah.
You should be dead, Mr. Miyagi.
Well, he doesn't say the last part,
Well,
but
he
yeah.
might as well have.
Yeah, that is the implied meaning. He's like very shocked that Mr. Miyagi still has a dad.
So, Mr. Miyagi decides to go to Japan, obviously, for obvious reasons. Books his tickets and all that stuff, and he's letting Daniel live at this place because Mum's let him. Well, Mum spoke to Mr. Miyagi. Yeah.
So Daniel was supposed to stay with Mr. Miyagi instead of going to Fresno, but then immediately after that was revealed, the mailman arrived, and Mr. Miyagi was like, shucks, got to fly to Japan now. Sorry, Daniel. Sorry that didn't work out. You got to go to Fresno now. And Daniel's like, sad story.
See how much I'm paying attention to this crappy movie.
Yeah. Maybe that's actually the trick. Maybe if you paid more attention, you'd realize how
No.
unreal.
No. Every time I looked up, something racist. Something stupid. Something racist and stupid. The perfect combo. Anyway, so Mr. Miyagi's going to the airport.
Yeah.
He's about to board. He's literally in the door
Yeah.
of the plane. He is in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then runs his dork. I got my tickets, Mr. Miyagi. I'm coming with you. And Mr. Miyagi decides right then and there, I don't think this is allowed. Is it? Yeah, I don't know. And then the flight attendant goes, so you're going to let him in?
Yeah.
Because I run this plane.
Maybe
I do own Japan because I'm the only Japanese guy in this plane.
Maybe that is actually the secret to Mr. Miyagi's money. We talked about this in the last
He owns
episode.
one plane.
Well, maybe he owns an air company.
Oh, from his cannabis business. Yes, that's right.
I was going to say...
Flying high with Mr. Miyagi.
I was thinking more like the airplanes were his primary business, which is why the air hostess would ask him if Daniel is allowed to board the plane, even though Daniel
he's
has
a drug dealer. Anyway.
Side note, also rude that Daniel just bought a ticket, didn't even ask Mr. Miyagi if he could come along, just rocked up to the airport and was like, Mr. Miyagi, I'm coming
So he read about it. He bought a book about Okinawa.
Yeah, but where is he gonna stay? On the streets of Okinawa? Maybe that was what he was reading about.
Yeah, he's right. He knows karate. It's fine.
God.
He can slip in the streets. So he boards the plane with his college funds. So Mr. Miyagi's a little bit upset about that. But anyway, they're already in the plane. They're going to kick him out of the plane. Be an ass. Anyway, they land in Japan.
Yes.
With the people in the background wearing traditional Japanese clothes because that's what they wear in Japan every day.
Yeah.
They wear kimonos, they wear robes.
They wear yukata, especially on flights.
Here we go. Kelly's Japanese knowledge comes out. And I'll say something wrong in Japanese. You're like, no, that's not how you say it.
Oh no. Carry on.
What? You know it.
Maybe I should buy like a movie in Tagalog and then you can correct me.
No, because I want to watch it.
It might be good.
That's for a future season. I was gonna watch it all. It'll make you watch all this shit movies that I don't like.
Perfect.
Anyway, they're in Okinawa, and this guy with his open shirt, with his golden necklace,
Yeah.
slick back black hair, speaks perfectly good English.
Yeah.
Perfectly good English. Japanese man to Japanese man. In Japan, they're speaking in English.
Yeah.
Ugh, it's called subtitles. Make it feel more natural.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the whole the whole thing about this movie. All the conversations are not natural
Yeah.
because it feels like obviously they're catering for Americans, and no one's gonna watch around that time. No one's gonna watch a Japanese movie unless Godzilla's in it. But people can read.
Yeah.
People can read, and that annoys me. It just destroys the flow of the conversations. Now I'm getting technical, but it's like every time they talk to each other, they're assuming that Daniel-san is listening.
Yeah.
Like even if Daniel wasn't around, they weren't speaking in Japanese.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. And it's annoying. I agree. They should be speaking in Japanese. They throw in
Yeah, come on, give it to me. Come on.
They throw in token Japanese words throughout the film to satiate people in the audience. And it's
clearly these actors, they're probably most of them are American, Japanese American people.
Some of them.
So most of them will have American accents.
Yeah.
So most of them are forcing Japanese accents.
Some of them have very good Japanese accents. Some of them.
Well, some of them are, not Japanese at all because it's BD Wong.
Yeah.
That's for later on.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started.
Or he was credited as Brad Wong.
Was he actually?
Yeah.
I didn't even read the credits.
Who's not paying attention now?
To the credits? We're arguing about the credits now?
Someone gave me a proverb once about a movie, about watching movies. You stay back to sit to respect the names of people who made it.
Are you making fun of me?
Who's not living by that now? Huh?
Okay. Carry on. I arrive in Japan.
You're getting destroyed.
I am.
This is round 2 of 3.
I'm sorry, listeners.
This is round 2 of 3. Anyway, so they get into this car because it's I keep forgetting her name. Yukie.
Yeah.
Yukie can't pick him up, so this guy and his friends pick him up. Well, pick both of them up, really. And they're driving, and they're quite, weird about it.
Yeah, there's that weird handshake.
Oh, yeah. It's like, oh, nice to meet you. And he just held Daniel's hand. Not in a romantic way.
In a tight grip.
Yep.
In an intimidation way.
I thought the open shirt, the open chest was intimidating enough. But no.
Gotta let people know you've got them pecs.
Yeah, and a gold chain. Anyway, so they go into this fancy car, they drive off, and Mr. Miyagi's like, my town is south of here. What are you doing? And they drive into a very dark warehouse. Ooh, I wonder what's going to happen there. I wonder who's there. Oh, yeah. Completely forgot.
Daniel's like the champion of stupid questions because they...
No, Daniel's just the champion of stupid.
Because they drive...
Daniel is stupid.
There's the gripping handshake, the fact they're driving in the wrong direction, the fact that their driver is kind of like uncomfortably laughing at them, like, hello, it's been changed since you were last here.
Completely forgot about the main plot. Hold on. Completely forgot about Sato.
Yeah.
Daniel was explained about Sato.
Oh, yeah. Before they left.
Yeah. About Yuki. I forgot. Oh, God. See? Like, this movie's making me stupid. Anyway, Mr. Miyagi's explained to Stupid Man.
The reason why he left Japan.
He left Japan because he was in love with a girl. And this girl was in love with him. But she was arranged to be wed to someone else.
Yes.
His best friend. Oh, my
God. It was his best friend, Sato.
And was it during their wedding or something? Or during a ceremony of some sort?
No, he just stood up in the village one day and was like, I'm going to marry Yuki. To hell with traditions.
Yep, that happened. And Sato turns out to be one of Mr. Miyagi's dad's students in karate. So they're quite evenly matched. It's like Sub-Zero and Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
I don't understand that reference.
Good. Anyway, so that's why he's never come back, because he left because...
Sato was dishonored, and so when Mr. Miyagi stood up and was like, I love you, Yukiya, let's get married.
Yeah, Mr. Miyagi said, I'm banging your girl, bro.
Yeah, and then Sato challenged him to a duel to the death. And Mr. Miyagi's not about that.
Yeah, I'm just about banging someone else's girl. But I ain't gonna fight you for her.
We have...
Bye!
No!
That's it. He left. He left for Japan and started his own family.
We don't know that they were banging. They could have just been drinking
tea. Come on! Have you seen them? What's in that tea?
They have chemistry. Okay? I'll give them that. Anyway.
Yeah, they go into this warehouse.
The number one rule of karate is... It's for defense only. No, it's for defense only. So Mr. Miyagi left Japan and never went back.
There's a little offense in the karate. Anyway.
When they rock up to this garage, this is what I was saying before.
A warehouse.
And it's dark, and the handshake has happened, and they've driven in the wrong direction, and their drivers were weird. Daniel-san is like, where are we? Why are we here? And it's like, man, come on.
It's like you haven't seen this movie before.
Well, it's been a while.
What? You don't remember how stupid Daniel is?
No.
Oh, if you could hear that, that was a DVD player trying to spit out the disc, saying, please, get this disc out of me. Anyway, Sato comes out with his, three-piece suit.
Yeah.
And his sunglasses in the very dark warehouse.
Yes.
And then Mr. Miyagi's like, Sato, is that you? And then Sato is still, holding a grudge.
Yeah.
And, fun fact, The Grudge was a spin-off of Karate Kid 2.
What? Really? No, that's wrong.
Whoa! Whoa! That worked too well.
You're not allowed to trick me like that. That's not fair.
That was easy. Anyway, so, it's like, I'm going to fight you. Go see your dad first, because mad respect, sorry for what you're going through, but I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay. So they get left there, they grab a taxi.
Yeah.
And they drive through a American military air base with a civilian cab. And there's this American soldier going, what are you doing here? I live here. There's no town here. And then his his superior goes, yeah, idiot. Look behind you. He's like, oh, there's a town there. And there's just choppers flying around. And then it's like, go on through.
I think we can chalk this up to the American Air Force not being great at what they do, rather than being a flaw in the Karate Kid.
One, it's the worst place to have an air base. Because it's right by the water.
Well,
it's like one helipad. That's the airbase. One helipad and like a shed.
Yeah, but, you know, a lot of Japan is right near the water.
Yeah, but this is like, rural Japan with houses still made of like paper and wood.
Why not build an airbase there? I mean, people aren't gonna, look for you out there.
I'll tell you why later.
Okay.
So they drive through the town, and Mr. Miyagi's like, "This is where I live."
Yeah. That's where I went fishing.
Yep. That's all this stuff, all reminiscing and stuff like that. Blah blah blah. Not important.
Not important.
And turns out Sato owns the whole town.
Yeah.
Oh, convenient.
He's rich.
Yep. So, and the dude who picked them up turns out to be Sato's nephew.
Yes.
And he's also a karate expert.
He is.
Oh.
He's Sato's best
surprise
student.
Plot twist. Anyway, the reason why Ali with an I dumped Daniel is because there's a new love interest.
Well, it's not like she could see into the future.
Well, that's the whole purpose. Duh.
Oh, right. Yeah. I like this new love interest.
What's her name?
Kumiko.
Good.
Did you forget, or did you want me to remember?
Oh man, I just want to skip the middle part of this movie.
We probably can, really. I mean, you can summarize it, like...
Blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of people who live, off the land and the water.
Yeah,
they're farming and
Sato.
the fish are gone because they're overfished.
Well, Sato overfished.
They've overfished, and now they're trying to farm off this small piece of land that Sato owns. Blah blah blah. We jump to Mr. Miyagi's dad, who is weirdly being taken care of by Yukie. And like I said while we were watching the movie, there's not a love triangle, there's a love square. Dad is involved.
Dad is involved.
Yep. Anyway, so Dad's dying. I'm really just skipping a lot of,
So I think it's really important to say that through the bulk of this movie, Sato is running around after Mr. Miyagi being like, "Wait, fight me." And Mr. Miyagi's just constantly like, "No,
I'm honorable."
Yeah, nah, mate, not for me.
I'm honorable because I banged a girlfriend.
Karate is about defense, etc.
Yep.
And meanwhile, the nephew is running around after Daniel-san being like, "Hey, your teacher is a coward." Rah. Yep. And there's a few times where he attacks Daniel and Kumiko gets involved. She's so much cooler than Ali with an I. Just putting it out there. That's basically it. Until the storm. Is that what one thing is that when Mr. Miyagi's father, Mr. Miyagi, is on his deathbed, Yukie is like, "You've got to come quickly." And both Sato and Mr. Miyagi are there.
Oh yeah, this part.
And as his last action
wish
on Earth, well, he doesn't voice anything, but it's kind of implied.
Well, he implied.
Yeah. He grabs Mr. Miyagi's hand and Sato's hand and puts them on top of each other, and then he dies. And it's like, guys, come on now. It's been 50 years, and neither of you got the girl. So, be friends.
Yep.
And then Sato's like, "I'll give you 3 days before I fight you." It doesn't work. He doesn't listen to the dying wish. It's very sad.
Yeah. And it's like, "Oh, I'm so sad. Your dad's dead. I'll give you 3 days to mourn. Then you can join him."
Yeah.
I was like, Christ, the dude just died. You said that right on top of him. Anyway, so that happened. So, Daniel's really getting into the Okinawa scene.
Yeah.
And, him and
Kumiko.
Yep.
Yeah, they're dating. They're dating.
Yeah, well,
the only thing that we've skipped in the majority of the main part of the movie is BD Wong.
Well, I was going to get to that.
Okay, well, that's it.
So they go to the town, the main town, the CBD, if you will.
Yes.
Central Business District, or CBD Wong. Ha!
Oh! No.
Anyway, funny that an extra becomes the biggest actor out of the whole movie.
Pat Morita was pretty big.
And he had to change his name. So no one knew he was in
Karate Kid Part 2.
So they go into town and Kumiko.
Yes.
Yep. This is another stupid question by Daniel. They go to a TV store They're watching TV like outside the window, and then there's like, you know, there's something on the TV obviously, and there's a girl dancing on there, like traditional Japanese dancing. And
I think it's ballet.
Dancing, whatever. It's dancing.
But she can't do it where she lives. It's so sad.
No, I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that. So like, she's like, that's what I want to do. And Daniel, dickhead son, goes, oh, you want to be a TV salesman? Wow, dream big. No offense to the TV. I used to be a TV salesman. There's nothing wrong with it. But this guy is just shitting on this girl's dream. Like, she realistically can't do it because of where she lives, and then she shits some more because he's putting a ceiling onto this girl's life.
Oh my god.
And even then he doubted it. That's why Daniel is a dick.
Got it.
Anyway, so they go into a pub or sort of bar or something, and they walk past a karate studio with nephew son, forgot his name, teaching American soldiers how to do the karate.
Yes.
So this kind of like really implies that this dude is good at what he does, because he put down 6 American soldiers in one move. Anywho, they go to the pub, and nephew son is there, you know, making bets and stuff like that to break like blocks of ice. And Daniel walks in and blah 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 blah, and it's like, oh, I bet you can't break, you know, 6 blocks in whatever, some sort of bet with the ice blocks, like, you know, like massive ice blocks. Give him credit. And then he's like, yeah, you know, I'll blah blah blah. Mr. Miyagi walks in, conveniently with $600.
Well, Yukiya ran to get him when she... Oh, not Yukiya. Kumiko ran to get him when she realized Daniel was in trouble.
Good.
Told you, she's...
And Mr. Miyagi walks in with like a wad of cash going, I'll put 600 that he can do all of them in one hit. And then nephew-san goes, I can't pay you back with that much money. And then, conveniently enough, Sato was also outside going, no, I'll cover the difference. Let the man bet. Gamble responsibly. And then Mr. Miyagi was like, Daniel's like, how am I going to do it? And then Mr. Miyagi's like, just pray.
Breathe. Mr. Miyagi's
breathe
pray.
And pray, because when you breathe on ice, you're melting the ice, so it's easier for you to break the ice.
No, it's not bad logic. I don't know.
That's what he implied.
You would have to breathe on the ice for a very long time.
Well, they were praying for like a good 30 seconds.
I feel like you'd need to breathe on the ice.
The opaqueness of the ice disappeared, and you can see through the ice, which means it's starting to melt.
I do not condone this argument that Mr. Miyagi cheated.
Hell yeah, he did. He had $600 on there, and then they won because he broke it. So Mr. Miyagi gives the kid his money. These are your college fees.
Yeah, to cover the plane ticket to Japan.
Yep.
Nice.
You know, hustling. What happens next?
BD Wong invites him to the dance.
Oh yeah, there's a dance. Okay, 50s?
Yeah.
1950s disco type of thing. Like jive dancing. And BD Wong with his terrible accent.
I actually was so distracted that I didn't recognize BD Wong because I was distracted by the accent, but I more blamed it on bad acting until I realized it was BD Wong, and then I kind of thought maybe it was just bad act. I don't know, but it was bad. It was very bad.
Yeah, because he knew how bad the movie was.
Bad Brad Wong.
And that's why he started making dinosaurs.
Yes.
And, you know, solving crimes in New York.
Yeah.
Dun dun. Anyway, so skip. There wasn't much training montages here.
No.
There was one with the big, you know, fishing crane thing that nearly killed Daniel. Should have. But yeah, there's not much there.
It's like Daniel's up to a point in his training where Mr. Miyagi just kind of feeds him hints and tips, and then it's his job to kind of go off on his own.
One of the tips was punch him in the balls.
Well, you know, it worked. It was a good tip.
But it always works. It's called a cheap shot.
Well, not if you're being mugged. If you're being mugged, it seems like a good way to get yourself out of the situation, if you can.
But if you're both fighters, you don't punch someone in the dick.
No, I don't think that's why Mr. Miyagi was.
Well, they went to the dance, and they danced pretty well. And nephew son was there. and threatened
Kumiko.
Yep. And they were basically like had her in a stranglehold. Everyone loves strangleholds in this series. And Daniel-san punches nephew-san in the balls, and then...
Well, you forgot the part where nephew-san kicked Daniel in the stomach, winded him. He goes down on all fours.
That's a scoring area for fighting.
And then took
Not the balls. That's a penalty area.
Took his wallet out of his back pocket, emptied it of the money, and was like, "Mwahahaha, this is mine now." And then Daniel hit him in the balls and grabbed the money, and then they ran away.
Cool.
So you're making it sound like nephew-san walked in and Daniel-san was like, "Ha!" and just got him.
Yeah.
That's not what happened.
Because Daniel deserves it.
Daniel deserves what?
To be punched in the face. He's annoying. It's bad shit.
And to have his college money stolen?
Yeah, he's never going to college. Have you seen how stupid he is?
Oh my god, Kev.
No amount of money will let him in.
Kev, I feel like maybe he's book smart. He's just not...
Are you sure about that?
He's just not very street smart, you know? Which is why Mr. Miyagi needs to come to his rescue all the time.
Anyway, fast forward. Satoru-san is like challenge, like, you know, he's like this weird, just like, you want to fight? You want to fight? Honor this, honor that, whatever. And Mr. Miyagi finally agreed
because Sato was bulldozing the town.
Yeah, so it's like they made a deal. And like, you know, if I fight you, you have to at least give the land back to the people.
Yeah.
So Sato, you know, doesn't really agree. He still wants to fight. And then the day of the fight, the night before.
They agree in the morning to fight that night if Sato hands over the lease to the town.
Yeah.
Sato agrees. Daniel-san's like, "What? Mr. Miyagi? You're going to die." And Mr. Miyagi was like...
For the people.
Yeah, it's a win-win. The town will be safe.
It's like, but what about you? I need you.
Yeah.
Selfish bastard. Anyway, what happens? Yeah, a storm hits.
Yeah, the storm comes.
This town is not made for storms, even though they're coastal.
Yeah.
And the Air Force, or whatever it was, the American military, is nowhere to be found.
No. They were looking after
They could have rescued all these people, and they sent the kid up to send a warning bell.
Yeah.
Which is like probably, 3 stories high?
So it's like no, it wouldn't be 3 stories. It's because it's in line with the power poles.
Yeah.
So this kid,
it sounds so much safer.
This kid
In the middle of a storm, send the kid up with the power poles. Kids are not affected by electricity.
This kid climbs a ladder up to a bell and is like ringing the bell to alert everyone to the fact that there's a storm happening right now.
Yep.
And then everyone gets in the shelter, except for that kid who's ringing the bell.
And Satoru-san. Satoru-san wasn't in the shelter because he's still in his house. And then they run to his house, and the house collapses while Satoru-san is there. And they're like, he's dead!
Well, nephew-san says that.
Yep. So they leave him there. Or nephew-san leaves him there. But Daniel and Mr. Miyagi go up to save him. And then Satoru's like, "Oh, you big pussy, you gonna fight me like this?"
He's pinned.
He's pinned by a beam, a big wooden beam, and then Mr. Miyagi chops the beam in half with his palm.
This has come up several times throughout the movie.
Yeah, it's like at the start it was advertised as the move of Sato-san.
Yeah, they get off at the airport and there's this advertisement where Sato is karate chopping a log in half, and Daniel's like, "Mr. Miyagi, can you do that?" And Mr. Miyagi's like, "I don't know, I've never been attacked by a tree."
He's only been attacked by flies.
It's a catch and release strategy with the chopsticks. Like he's letting them go.
Good on him. Oh, saving lives.
And then there's that moment where Sato has that beam in his backyard that Mr. Miyagi and him found on the beach in their youth, and he's been karate chopping it for the past 60 years.
Oh yeah.
And then there's this beam,
which is conveniently very, very soaked by the water.
Well, it is a storm.
Yeah, that's why he chopped it in half.
Is that why he was? I don't know science, so
lesson here, folks: cheat your way through life. Mr. Miyagi's main proverb.
Oh my goodness, no. He said so many other things.
Anyway.
He said, wait, what did he say? Never put passion before principle. Maybe it was the principle of the matter. Always chop wood in the rain.
Yep, that's it. In the middle of a storm.
Yep.
So Sato gets rescued. He has a change of heart, and he tells his nephew, "You're dead to me because you left me to die."
No, that's not why he says you're dead to me.
That's what happened to me. Anyway.
So they save Sato. They get back. They realize that girl is still up ringing the bell. She's crying. It's about to collapse. She's about to die.
That's right. Lightning strikes.
And Daniel goes out to save her. And then Sato's like, Nephew-san, help him. And Nephew-san's like, no, nah, can't. No can do. No can do. And then Daniel struggles, obviously. Do you want to talk about his struggles, or do we want to just skip this part?
Nah.
He struggles.
I don't even want to talk about this movie.
He almost dies.
Good.
He manages to get the girl down. He's like piggybacking her. He collapses into the mud. And then Sato runs out and helps him get the girl inside. And then when that happens, he turns to Nephew-san and he says, "You're dead to me."
Nice. Good recap.
Yeah. You're
Selling it well.
I know. That's my job.
Oh, a TV salesman.
Oh, God. No.
The epitome of women's jobs in the 1980s in Japan, apparently, according to Daniel-san.
No, we can't go back to it's the 80s comments. So bad.
Anywho, Sato has a change of heart, gives the deed to the town,
Yeah.
and then...
Doesn't want to fight Miyagi anymore.
gives the deed to Mr. Miyagi, because apparently he's now the town.
Well, he does own that air company.
We're keeping these silences just to emphasize how much I care about this movie.
Mr. Miyagi's many businesses.
Yeah, on top of his weed company. So Daniel sounds like, why don't we give it back to the actual castle or some shit like that?
The bone dance.
Yeah.
They're having a dance, but
Yeah, they had a dance to party and celebrate that everything's great. We survived the storm. We survived the storm between, Mr. Miyagi and Sato.
It's like an
They love it.
No.
They love to dance.
No, it's
they
not.
all dance.
it's an annual festival that always happens. But since Sato owned the town, he didn't let them have it in the traditional place anymore.
Yeah.
So after the storm, Daniel says, "Hey, Sato, can we just have..."
Bro, let's have it in the castle.
And Sato's like,
Oh, okay.
"You should be my teacher."
Yep.
You sound so defeated.
No, it's the stupidest idea. Have you heard this kid talk? So they have the dance, they have the party, and then Kumiko
Yeah.
has her solo dance.
Yeah.
The best entrance in any movie. Who cares about Avengers, Infinity War, where Thor lands in the middle of Wakanda with Groot and Rocket Raccoon? Nah, this guy, Nephew-san.
What?
He just uses the electric wires from an electricity pole as a flying fox to land and, basically threaten Kumiko's life in front of everyone.
Well, he grabs her in another chokehold and puts a knife to her
Yep.
throat.
So they fight.
Well,
Look,
Kumiko
fought back.
She did. She's a
Which
legend.
is, she...
Ally with an eye, schmally with an eye, I say.
Yeah, that's why we throw out number one and then throw out this afterwards.
Oh, no.
And they fight, and Daniel does the bone drum move.
So it's important to note, it's a fight to the death, because Daniel has dishonored this guy when his uncle has disowned him, or something.
Oh, and Daniel tried to do the crane move, but Nephew-san saw number one.
Yeah.
So it's like, got you, and then bang, bang, bang.
Oh, we forgot the best line in the movie. Sato saying, "I was wrong. Hate is wrong. It's over." And then Nephew-san's like, "Nah, gonna fight him."
That's the best line in the movie.
You love that line. I saw your face. You almost fell off the couch.
Yep. I cried. I was like, he's right. World peace founded. Anyway, Daniel does the bone drum move, bashes the crap out of Nephew-san, and then reminiscing at the start of the movie where he's got Mr. Miyagi had a chance to kill poor man's David Hasselhoff.
Sensei.
Daniel had the same opportunity with Nephew-san.
Live or die, man.
And then Nephew-san was like, to his credit, goes, die. Duh, that's the deal. And then, because Daniel's so original, he honks his nose.
Yeah. And it all
And leaves him for death anyway.
And then it ends the same as the first one.
Yep.
Shot of Pat Morita winking, and then...
Winking to Daniel's like, I've seen your penis.
No! Oh, no. No, not at all. And then credits. Wow, what a good movie. Definitely one that we must keep.
Really? You're going there?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. Kevin, everyone knows this, trilogy, it's all in the one.
You know what? I'll tell you this, right? Before we started recording this morning, I was like, it's good weather for podcasting. I was in a good mood. And then some technical difficulties happened.
Yeah.
And I'm hungry. So, Karate Kid 2. Wrong place, wrong time. I could have been a little less harsher. But no, I think it really just, made its bed.
What? You're arguing against it still?
Yep.
Oh, you got up my hopes there for a moment. I thought maybe you were coming over to my side.
I was trying to, be accountable for my bias. But it didn't help. There was nothing that it could help.
Kevin, are you familiar with the State of Origin?
Go on, tell me about it.
Everyone knows that in the State of Origin, 3 games are played. And if
Yes.
one team wins the first 2 games, the third game, it's just not as fun.
That's called best out of 3. It's not just State of Origin. You could go, rock, paper, scissors right now and go best out of 3. If I win 2, the third one's useless.
I feel like I'll give you the first one. You give me the second one.
No, I'm not giving you crap.
And then it all comes down to the third one.
No.
No. All right.
No.
Let the viewers decide.
Like, I saw this movie as a
And
kid.
by viewers, I mean listeners.
And I could only remember the last scene. That's it.
How could you forget the moment when all those people start playing the bone drum? It's beautiful. Brings tears to your eye.
I hate bone drums.
Oh.
Because growing up, here you go, flashback, Mr. Miyagi style. One Chinese New Year, someone gave us a bunch of bone drums, like plastic bone drums, obviously.
Yeah.
And every kid in either school or the house had one, and they kept using it. It just annoyed the shit out of me.
And that's the reason why you are
Yeah.
inherently biased against Karate Kid 2.
Yes. And just speaking Japanese, man.
Well-
I think that's it. Just speaking Japanese.
Let's give them some credit. Because Kumiko said, "Chotto matte," before she opened the door. Just a moment.
I don't know what that means.
Someone said, oh, sorry.
Wow.
Someone said konbanwa. Someone said ohayo gozaimasu. And
Yeah, because they're supposed to, because they're Japanese and they're in Japan.
Well, Daniel's-
They're supposed to say those words because this is their natural language.
Daniel-san also learned the word ninjin, carrot. So that's something. No, not impressed by Daniel's use
Wow,
of the
he
word.
learns one Japanese word that's irrelevant to a lot of things.
Well, when the carrot
And
part
that's
tipped
inclusive
over,
now, apparently.
No, it's not. Oh, God, no, it's not. Anyway, we'd love to know what you think of this episode. More importantly, we'd love to hear from you if you love and want us to keep Karate Kid Part 2. You can reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We are on all of these things and more. We also have a website, www.inconceivablereviews.com. We release written reviews of new releases onto that website. Let us know what you think. We'd love to hear from you. I'd especially love to hear from you because this one feels like an impasse.
You can keep saying that. Keep saying that. Keep telling yourself that.
I will.